Hi, thanks, Dave, for joining us here today. Quick introduction of myself. My name is Jace. I'm account executive here at Hyperbots. Spent about 6 years in the software as a service space, focused on the finance and accounting automation. And today we have Dave Sackett with us, a finance leader with deep expertise in AI, ERP systems, and operational finance. He's currently serves as the VP of Finance at Persimmon Technologies and has held senior roles at multiple other corporations as well. So thanks for joining us, Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Jace, for the intro.
And today's overall topic is just discussing Hyperbots' unlimited access licensing model. And first question for you, Dave. Most software as a service finance tools still price per seat. What does Hyperbots mean by access to unlimited users?
Yeah, it means we pay for the application, not on a per user basis. So anyone in our company can log in and use Hyperbots without an additional charge.
Awesome. And where initially did you feel the pain of the seat-based pricing before using Hyperbots?
Um, Usually, even like in our ERP system, we're charged by number of users and whether or not they're even using the system. So we're paying for a service that we're not really using from a per license point of view. With Hyperbots, whatever the bot does, that's what we pay. It's a pay-as-you-go model. And who's ever inputting it, it doesn't matter how many people use it. If I only have one user, if I have 100 users, everyone in my company, it's still the same cost.
And how are those roles and permissions assigned if the access is so open?
Well, we have approval chains with people that have limited approval to all the way to power users. And so invoices that used to wait for someone that had a license or which person, now that process is skipped. Hyperbots can be operated in real time and super fast so that it's not, held up by a long, lengthy process. It can, invoices can go in based on the people, the stakeholders that need that information in quickly.
Sure. And does the access extend to external stakeholders like vendors that you guys are working with?
Yes, that's possible. We're not using that right now, but we're looking forward to that, to have vendors to be able to see what's going on as another set of eyes to help us solve problems if there's, held up in payments or there's an invoice issue, which is great. We just haven't done that functionality yet.
Sure. And you guys have, a little bit over 300 users right now. How did you handle the actual onboarding process for those users?
So yeah, who actually the users that use our hyperbots are very few. Even though that is, we do have a large number of employees. The way it worked is that I had my department, pretty much the finance group, work with hyperbots and have weekly meetings, go over, action items and testing and user acceptance testing, and kind of really working with hyperbots hand in hand to make sure it went up smoothly. And we also brought in our IT um, director to help with APIs and get it connected to our ERP system on the back end with a connector.
Sure. And can you import those users from Excel if HR integration isn't ready?
Absolutely. Yeah. Drag and drop CSV with name, email role. Like say if someone has a new subsidiary and you want to pull all these users in, it's totally designed for that.
Awesome. Pretty seamless process. And what
Yes.
happens when an employee departs the organization?
So they'll be flagged as terminated. Hyperbots would see that event and revoke access automatically. So no orphan accounts. It's a real-time win for maintaining the database.
Sure. Just making sure that information is accurate.
Yes.
And you guys operate globally. How does 24/7 access improve your overall operations?
It's yeah. While we're sleeping, the bot is working. So that's the benefit to us. It pulls. the data from invoices. We get invoiced around the world. We've got customers, we have suppliers around the world that will send in invoices. And when those come in, they get to an inbox that Hyperbots pulls from. So it's, even if we're not working, Hyperbots is working for us.
Sure. And when we had spoke previously, you called the model democratized participation. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yep. So when every stakeholder can jump in, disputes are solved quickly. A plant foreman can comment on a price variance directly in the invoice thread instead of sending an email to a licensed controller. So you're seeing the people the stakeholders, people who need this transaction done, they can see where it is in the process. They can see who's kind of has the ball in terms of getting it processed through Hyperbots, and it's a clear audit trail of what's going on with the invoice at all times.
And from your experience, how does this compare with competitors that you have evaluated in the past?
So I've actually gone through an implementation before with a different company, and it was a lot of upfront fees and then a lot of fixed upfront maintenance. So my costs were high. I knew what they were going to be, but it wasn't usage based, which is Hyperbot's model. So if the bot doesn't do much work, I don't pay much money. If the bot does a ton of work, then I am paying it, but I'm paying less than if I had to hire a person to do that work. So to me, it's a good return on investment.
Sure. And what impact, if any, has this had on vendor relationships?
Yeah, right now the vendors send invoices in and they get a turnaround, they get paid quickly. We have fewer issues, fewer invoices have to be submitted via email from person to person. We've set it up where as soon as the email goes in the inbox, if all the data is correct, it gets processed. So it's really saving us time dealing with vendors. And I know there is, tracking W-9s, looking at checkpoints, just saves everyone time.
Sure. And on the scaling side of things, what if your user base doubles after another acquisition?
Yep, which is great. And we're planning on growing, but we're not planning to add headcount. We'll just have the bot do more. And it can do more efficiently than a human could. And it costs less than a human addition headcount would be. So we are planning to just grow in terms of our top line, and other departments will get headcount increases. But from finance's point of view and AP, we're square because we have a bot that can just process more. As our demand grows and we have more volume, the bot is there to pick it up. And the more we use it, the more it recognizes our invoices and just processes everything so quickly. So even though we're going to have more and more AP invoices coming in the future, I don't have to add people.
Yep. Learns over time and gets better and better.
Right.
Does the open access raise any security concerns?
It doesn't. Roles are granular. Data is encrypted. SSO with Azure AD enforces MFA. Unlimited doesn't mean ungoverned. So it's still, you have to give the bot permissions of what it can and can't do and manage it almost like you would an employee.
Got it. And have you guys seen any unexpected wins from having the unlimited seats available?
In terms of having unlimited seats, it's just, yeah, instead of a per user license for people that I just want to have view access, it's all managed now through Hyperbots with, it doesn't matter who. I can give, the head of purchasing, access to Hyperbots. I can have an IT person have access. I can have the CEO, if I want, have access to see what's going on at any point in time, and if he wants to look at vendors. So having that flexibility to give anyone I want in my company access to Hyperbots is certainly a win without adding additional cost.
100%. And last question for you, Dave, on the impact that it's had to your bottom line. Could you walk me through what that's looked like for you?
Yep. So in terms of before we had this project, I had two people in accounts payable. I had an option of replacing that person with another person, and then as we grow, then getting another person in AP. So instead of growing my department with people, finding the Hyperbot solution, it's actually less than a person for us. And it also takes work off our additional AP manager that's here. So we're saving on an entire AP clerk and 80% of the work of our AP manager using Hyperbots. So from an ROI point of view, that's how we're measuring it for like a budgeting point of view, and it's been positive for us.
Awesome. We'd love to hear that. Well, that's all I had for you today, Dave. Thank you again, as always, for your time, and we'll look forward to chatting with you again here soon.